Can anybody see me? Can anybody hear me? Bueller? Well, I don't know. Anyway, this can work as recorded content too, because basically what I thought I would do today is, since this was initially reported and this story broke, I've heard a lot of people on the news were like, have been like, oh, you should really go read the affidavit because it's crazy. So I went and read the affidavit and it's fucking crazy. Oh, by the way, tiny humidifier, major key. Okay, so I'm hoping that this works. I'm hoping. And if not, if it's like buffering or something, hopefully the replay will be like correct and you guys can just watch it then. So anyway, since no one, obviously, because the format doesn't lend itself to it, is going to read this on the news, I thought this is one of those places where a bunch of things sort of cross, like interests that I have, I guess. And since I told you guys about Patriot Prayer and like the Proud Boys and stuff, which also, by the way, I have a little like PS article, if anyone's into it, after this. I don't know, we'll see how long this takes me, but like about the particular role that the Proud Boys have played in Portland. I know I've mentioned it before, but some people don't understand that like a lot of the like protests and like issues that came to a head this year in Portland have been ongoing for a very long time. A lot of people don't understand why the animosity towards the police is very much a factor here. So I think, yeah, it definitely can give some context to anyone who's been, you know, following the news on this stuff. Okay, so let's get to this. All right, so, and again, humidifier, tiny humidifier, awesome. Especially if you are going to be talking at length, and yeah, and especially because like with COVID now, they say that this actually helps it not to like linger in the air. Now, I'm the only person in this room, but still, it's you know, a good habit, I guess, apparently. I don't know. Science. Anyway. All right, so let's get started. Conspiracy to kidnap the governor of Michigan. In early 2020, the FBI became aware through social media that a group of individuals were discussing the violent overthrow of certain government and law enforcement components. Among those individuals identified were Croft and Fox, two guys who were kidnapped, or not kidnapped, arrested. They've been kidnapping people in Portland. I mean, DHS, not Michigan police, or the FBI, anyway. Or were they? Who knows? Anyway, I digress. Okay, through electronic communications, Croft, and by the way, primarily Facebook, Croft and Fox agreed to unite others. Oh, sorry, if that is annoying, if you guys can hear that, let me know, and I'll close my window. Let's see. Through electronic communications, Croft and Fox agreed to unite others in their cause and take violent action against multiple state governments that they believe are violating the U.S. Constitution. Group meeting in Ohio to discuss the operation. On June 6th, 2020, Croft, Fox, and approximately 13 other people from several states gathered in Dublin, Ohio. CHS1, which is, what is it? It's like, what, criminal oh gee. It's the technical term for informant. CHS1, so informant 1, was present at this meeting, which these people were infiltrated very much so. And it's interesting that, one of the footnotes for this is that the FBI has paid CHS1 approximately $8,600 to date for expenses. If that gets annoying, let me know. CHS-1 does not have a criminal history and has been deemed reliable by the FBI. Information given by CHS-1 has shown to be reliable and corroborated through review of recordings and physical surveillance. That meeting was recorded and provided to the FBI. So it's interesting that they, like, literally give informants money directly. Oh, that's annoying me. Shit. Oh, fuck. It's trash day, I forgot. Ugh, of course it is. Sorry. Anyway. Or maybe I'm just nitpicking myself anyway. Okay. So, the group talked about creating a society that followed the U.S. Bill of Rights and where they could be self-sufficient. They discussed different ways of achieving this goal, from peaceful endeavors to violent actions. At one point, several members talked about state governments they believed were violating the U.S. Constitution, including the government of Michigan and Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Several members talked about murdering tyrants or taking a sitting governor. The group decided they needed to increase their numbers and encouraged each other to talk to their neighbors and spread their message. As part of that recruitment effort, Fox reached out to a Michigan-based militia group, known as, in this document, the Militia Group, which I believe is a militia group known as the Wolverine Watchmen. Nerds. Anyway, the militia group had already been brought to the attention of the FBI by a local police department in March 2020, when members of the militia group were attempting to obtain the addresses of local law enforcement officers. At the time, the FBI interviewed a member of the militia group who was concerned about the group's plans to target and kill police officers, and that person agreed to become a CHS informant. Attempted recruitment of the militia group and others. As reported by CHS-2 and confirmed by the FBI, the militia group periodically meets for field training exercises, FTX, on private property in remote areas of Michigan, where they engage in firearms training and tactical drills. This is concerning. Like, this is like one of those warning signs that they have on like FBI checklists that like they say that like if I'm thinking of this right, I remember this back from like the Columbine days actually. Like they said that like people talking about doing something is one thing, but when they actually start acquiring weapons and start like training with it, that's when it that's when they consider it like the crossing point from like fantasy to like actually implementing a plan. So that's probably why it's mentioned first. Okay, CHS-2 told the FBI that at a field training exercise on June 14th, 2020, one of the founders of the militia group said he had been introduced to Fox. During that exercise, the militia group leadership had a call with Fox, who invited them to meet at his business in Grand Rapids, Michigan, later in the week. Fox, which is Adam Fox, and I can't remember, I think it's like Eric Croft? I can't remember this dude's name, fuck. In coordination with Croft, met with members of the militia group at various times in June 2020. During one such meeting on June 18th, 2020, which was audio recorded by CHS-2, so wearing a wire, Fox militia group leadership, including Michigan resident Ty Garbin and CHS-2, met at a Second Amendment rally at the state capitol in Lansing, Michigan. That was the rally, or one of the rallies that was covered on the news. So, the rally that didn't lead to William Barr sending DHS to Michigan. Even though these people who attended that rally later went on to now be arrested for kidnapping or attempting to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer. This is the thing, okay, so like people like the Bundys, they never say like in their interviews that this is what they're thinking about. But when you find out all of the connections, like if you've listened to Bundyville, the podcast that I played during that live stream, you start to realize that they have an entire network of extremists, some of whom have actually committed acts of terrorism in their small towns that haven't made the news because they're in these small towns. Anyway. Or, you know, there's no official or affiliation. You know, they didn't join, you know, the KKK or the Aryan Nation or whatever. So people find it tenuous at best to, I guess, report upon. But the connections are definitely there. But they never say it. But you don't see them coming down on these people. They come to Portland and, you know, kidnap people for graffiti. This is the problem. Anyway. Alright. Alright. Okay, so at that Second Amendment rally at the state capitol in Lansing, Michigan, in an effort to recruit more members for the operation, Fox told Garvin and CHS-2 he planned to attack the Capitol and asked them to combine forces. The operation focuses on Governor Whitmer. As previously discussed, the FBI was able to monitor much of the activity between Fox and others through the use of CHSs. On June 14, 2020, CHS-2 participated in a consensually recorded telephone call with Fox. I'm assuming this is a one-party state, hence consensually, because I doubt Fox knew about this, who described the meeting in Dublin, Ohio. Fox said he needed 200 men to storm the Capitol building in Lansing, Michigan, and take hostages, including the governor. Fox explained that they would try the governor of Michigan for treason, and he, oh my god, is that a plane? I don't know, it's so annoying. And he said they would execute the plan before the November 2020 elections. So, a sham trial for the election. Yeah. On June 20th, 2020, Fox, Garvin, and several other individuals, including CHS-2, informant 2, met at Fox's business in Grand Rapids. As part of Fox's operational security, the attendees met in the basement of the shop, which was accessed through a trap door hidden under a rug on the main floor. Fox collected all of their cellular phones in a box and carried them upstairs to prevent any monitoring. CHS-2 was wearing a recording device, however, and captured the audio from the meeting. The attendees discussed plans for assaulting the Michigan State Capitol, countering law enforcement first responders, and using Molotov cocktails to destroy police vehicles. But they didn't get DHS and the marshals sent into Michigan. I mean, they knew about this. The attendees also discussed plans for an additional meeting during the first weekend of July when they would conduct firearms and tactical training. On June 25th, 2020, Fox live streamed a video to a private Facebook group that included CHS-2, in which he complained about the judicial system and the state of Michigan controlling the operation of gyms. Tyranny. Fox referred to Governor Whitmer as this tyrant bitch and stated, "I don't know, boys, we gotta do something. You guys link with me on our other location system. Give me some ideas of what we can do." The video was preserved by the FBI. Training and planning to kidnap the Michigan governor. On June 28, 2020, Fox's girlfriend, Garvin, Michigan resident Caleb Franks, Michigan resident Brandon Caserta, and CHS-2 attended a tactical training exercise at the Munith, Michigan residence of a militia group member. So they met multiple times to engage in these like field training exercises in different terrains around the state. Anyway, sorry, I lost my place. Okay, after the training, Franks left the residence. Other people, including Fox, Garbin, Caserta, and CHS2, remained at the residence and were told to leave if they were not willing to participate in attacks against the government and in kidnapping politicians. Fox, Garbin, Caserta, and CHS2 stayed for the rest of the meeting. Franks left before the end of the night, though his departure does not appear to be related to Frank's commitment to the conspiracy. Over the weekend of July 10 to 12, 2020, Fox, Croft, Garbin, Franks, Caserta, CHS2, and others attended a field training exercise in Cambria, Wisconsin. So 3 now. This is in a couple months. 3 field training exercises. So that's I mean, for an informal group, that's a lot. Attendees participated in firearms training and other combat drills. On July 11th, at the exercise, Croft and a member of the militia group attempted to construct an improvised explosive device, or an IED, using black powder, balloons, a fuse, and BBs for shrapnel. Croft, Garbin, and the militia group member attempted to make a second IED using similar components. The construction of the devices was faulty, and they did not detonate as planned. CHS2 provided F.B.I. with video of the event. Franks also brought and fired a rifle with a silencer at the exercise. Attendees shared photos and video recordings of the exercise in Facebook discussions that included CHS2. On July 18, 2020, Garbin, Fox, Croft, Harris, Franks, CHS2, and other individuals met in Ohio. So I'm thinking 4th time. CHS2, the informant, provided the F.B.I. with an audio recording of the meeting. Wired. The attendees discussed attacking a Michigan State Police facility. And in a separate conversation after the meeting, Garbin suggested shooting up the governor's vacation home, which is located in the Western District of Michigan. The same day, Garbin told CHS2 and others that he did not want to go after the Capitol. He said he was cool with going to the governor's vacation home. However, even if it only resulted in destruction of property. On July 27, 2020, CHS2 met Fox at his business in Grand Rapids. CHS2 provided the F.B.I. with an audio recording of the meeting. Fox said their best opportunity to abduct Governor Whitmer would be when she was arriving at or leaving either her personal vacation home or the governor's official summer residence. Both residences are located in the Western District of Michigan. Fox described it as a snatch and grab, man. Grab the fucking governor. Just grab the bitch. Because at that point, we do that, dude, it's over. Fox said that after kidnapping the governor, the group would remove her to a secure location in Wisconsin for trial. So, sham trial, yet again. Hey, Nat, what's up? How's it going? Good to see you. Okay, so Fox suggested they get a realtor. Isn't this a crazy story, by the way? Fox suggested they get a realtor to help them find the exact location of the vacation home and collect information on the surrounding home and structures. Fox discussed the importance of knowing the layout of the yard, homes, and security. Fox stated they needed to map out the surrounding property. I know, right? Totally. And this didn't get, DHS sent into Michigan. But, in Portland, they're here and they're still here because, graffiti. Anyway. All right, so, Fox discussed the importance of knowing the layout of the yard, homes, and security. Fox stated they needed to map out the surrounding property and gates, and they needed plumbers and electricians to help them read blueprints to refine their strategy. Fox also suggested recruiting an engineer or IT guy, a demo guy, and other operators. On July 27th, 2020, this is only a few weeks ago, you guys, Fox asked in an encrypted group chat, which included Garbin, Harris, Franks, and CHS2, Okay, well, how's everyone feel about kidnapping? No one responded to the question. On July 28th, 2020, Fox told CHS2 over the phone that he had narrowed down his attack targets to the vacation home and the summer residence. The call was not recorded. The same day, Fox posted the following to a private Facebook page. "We about to be busy, ladies and gentlemen. This is where the patriot shows up. Sacrifices his time, money, blood, sweat, and tears. It starts now, so get fucking prepared." On August 9th, 2020, Fox, Garbin, Harris, Franks, and CHS2 participated in a tactical training in Munich, Michigan. So this is now the fourth field exercise and tactical training session that this group has had in 2 months, 3 months maybe. CHS2, the informant, provided the FBI with an audio recording of the training. Wired. Fox asked the group about kidnapping Governor Whitmer. According to CHS2, Garbin initially expressed reluctance to talk about the plan in that setting. After the training, Fox, CHS2, and the others participated in a group call that was recorded by CHS. Oh, let me guess, now they're going to spill everything on the group call. Fox suggested another member of the militia group could gather information about Governor Whitmer's primary residence in Lansing, and Fox discussed destroying the governor's boat. Yeah, great, smart, very smart. But, like, do that on the phone, but not when people are there? Okay, whatever. Okay. After the training, I just read that. After the call, Fox, Franks, Garbin, Harris, and CHS2 communicated in an encrypted group chat. In that chat, Harris stated, "Have one person go to her house, knock on the door, and when she answers it, just cap her. At this point, fuck it." He added, "I mean, fuck, catch her walking into the building and acts like a passerby and fixing dome her, then yourself, whoever does it." Probably fucking dome her, then whatever. Sick indeed. In a follow-up chat about the plan, Franks told CHS2, "Okay, sounds good. I'm in for anything as long as it's well planned." Well planned. On August 18th, 2020, in an encrypted group chat that included Fox, Harris, Garbins, Franks, CHS2, and others, Franks expressed interest in taking part in a surveillance of the vacation home. In an effort to locate the governor's vacation home, one of the members named specific cities where it could be located and told the group to check these cities. In a private chat later on August 18th, 2020, the same person told CHS2 the name of the lake in northern Michigan where the vacation home is located, and he said he was looking for an escape route using a boat on the lake. The group uses operational security measures to avoid detection. The conspirators often communicate via encrypted online platforms and use code words or phrases to describe their plans in a self-proclaimed effort to avoid law enforcement detection. For example, on July 24, 2020, CHS2 and Garbin contacted Fox by telephone. The call was recorded by CHS2. Fox said he had researched the governor's office online, and he believed that the governor kept only a ceremonial office in Lansing. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly the same people. Like, yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Like, and that's kind of why, like, I felt like this was relevant, especially with, like, you know, what I don't know, sort of played for you guys about Patriot Prayer. Or, well, about these groups. They're all sort of interrelated and they're from multiple states. So, like, this connection, this network, it impacts people all across the nation because they're all over the place. Like, you know, they're coordinating these kidnappings and shit. Like, this was supposed to be right before the election. So, yeah, exactly. It's those people. Good, yeah, good point. Okay, let's see. Yeah, okay. Only ceremonial office in Lansing. Fox wondered aloud whether the group just needed to party it out, make a cake, and send it, in what CHS2 believed was a coded reference for sending a bomb to the governor. Fox discussed the need to train for the next 3 months to be ready to engage. Fox stated, "In all honesty, right now, I just want to make the world glow, dude. I'm not even fucking kidding. I just want to make it all glow, dude. I don't fucking care anymore. I'm just so sick of it. That's what it's gonna take." What? Correct, something. Knights of the Golden Circle. Oh. Wait, what's that? That's not ringing any bells. Let me just make a note of that, so. But is that like one of these groups? I don't know. I'm gonna look this up later. It's Golden Circle. It's so great just having a laptop right here. Okay, alright. Alright, yeah, okay, so I just want to make it all glow, dude. I don't fucking care anymore. I'm just so sick of it. Oh, Lincoln. Oh, okay. I'll look it up. Awesome. Hopefully. That's what it's gonna take for us to take it back. We're just gonna have to, everything's gonna have to be annihilated, man. We're gonna topple it all, dude. It's what great freaking conquerors, man. We're just gonna conquer every fucking thing, man. Great conquerors. Jesus Christ. Okay, Fox and Garvin further discussed the need for the government to collapse because it has become so tyrannical. Again, this guy was upset because gyms were closed. That was his main... That was his beef. Alright. On July 26th, this Fox guy, that was him. Yeah, same guy. Okay. On July 26th, 2020, Fox told CHS2 that he had not heard back from the baker, which the CHS understood to mean an explosives manufacturer. Ah. As you do. Fox told the CHS that he thought it might be better to focus on the vacation home and summer residents as potential targets. Fox also said, maybe we should just make a bunch of cupcakes and send them out, in an apparent reference to a more widespread bombing campaign. CHS2 understood these code words and phrases because the group often used such language when talking about explosives. On August 23, 2020, Garvin, Harris, Franks, Caserta, CHS2, and 3 other individuals met at Harris's residence in Lake Orion, Michigan. CHS2 provided FBI with an audio recording of the meeting. Kidnapped Lincoln's body and killed the... Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That sounds... It's either really cool or really bad. Like, what was their goal to, like... Was it, like, revenge for Lincoln? Because if so, like, awesome. Interesting. Because, I mean, like, the guy who, Booth, he was like a pro-slavery person, right? Like, or, oh, was it in, like, retaliation of, wait, I'm gonna have to look this up. You know, I don't know, like, yeah, like, I don't know, motivation sometimes, it can be very, maybe I just pick it up wrong ways and assume things that are, like, odd, but yeah. I'm looking that up next. That sounds interesting either way, though. I mean, fascinating. Sweet. Okay. Alright. Okay. The group had discussed concerns about being infiltrated by law enforcement, and all attendees were required to bring personal documents to confirm their identities. During the meeting, Caserta asked Franks, where you at? Franks responded, same place, I'm ready to get it on. Doesn't matter, it could be because somebody looked at us wrong. CHS2, referring to Fox, stated, he is all about fucking killing her. Caserta responded, God, go on someone's property and stuff like that. I would rather not scare them, especially if it's a fucking political parasite. The world would be better without that person, I'll say that. CHS-2 explained that was why Fox wanted to do recon for the plan. The group discussed surveying the vacation home in preparation for attacks on the governor, and Franks advised he had recently spent almost $4,000 on a helmet and night vision goggles. To address their concerns about law enforcement infiltration, the attendees agreed to move their group chat to a different encrypted messaging application. Because the group still included CHS-2, the FBI has maintained the ability to consensually monitor the chat communications. The conspirators conduct surveillance of the governor's home on 2 occasions. Daytime surveillance on August 29, 2020. On August 29, 2020, Fox, CHS-2, and another individual conducted surveillance of the vacation home. CHS-2 provided FBI with an audio recording of the operation. Fox used his cell phone to attempt to locate the residence, but initially they had trouble finding it. He contacted a friend who had assisted them in the past. The friend told him where the vacation home was located and sent pictures of the home from the internet. Fox and the other individual located the vacation home, took photographs and slow-motion video from their vehicle as they drove by it, and discussed conducting additional surveillance from the water at a later date. Excuse me. The other individual then looked up the locations of the local police department and Michigan State Police in the area and used them to estimate how long it would take law enforcement to respond to an incident at the vacation home. During the surveillance operation, Fox said, "We ain't gonna let 'em burn our fucking state down. I don't give a fuck if there's only 20 or 30 of us, dude. We'll go out there and use deadly force." Again, he was upset because the gyms were closed. Burn our fucking state down, though. Okay, alright. Okay. On August 30th, 2020, Fox shared photos from his surveillance trip, to annex the Golden Circle in Mexico, Central America. Oh, wow. Thanks for that. And the Caribbean as slave states. Oh, wow. Oh, whoa. Okay. Oh, so like, oh, wow. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's crazy, because, like, this kind of stuff, it's always sort of been in America. Isn't it wild? Like, totally. Like, wow. Yeah, that's why I have to look, I have to research that. That's amazing. Whoa. That's wild. But I mean, I guess it makes sense, like, with the Caribbean and, like, you know, with, like, yeah, all the colonies and stuff in the Caribbean. Yeah, totally. But that's wild. I've never even heard of that. And see, here I was thinking, like, oh, I guess they were, like, you know, blah, 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 trying to get retaliation for, like, but, like, yeah, no, totally. Like, I don't know why I assumed they were on some John Brown shit, but, like, yeah. Yeah. It's been that way ever since. You know, I feel like, I don't know. I mean, okay, I get why, you know, when Reconstruction was happening and everything, I get why there was, like, supposed to be, like, a conciliatory kind of, like, air, because they were really just trying to keep the Union together. But, like, yeah, exactly. But, like, at the same time, it's, like, so much of this has been allowed to fester in our society. Like, I mean, Jeff Sessions, he's named after, you know, Jefferson Davis, I think, and, like, all these fucking, like, awful people who, you know, oh, it's terrible. And, I mean, and that guy is still, like, he's, like, a politician, and he's, like, a legit person. I mean, like, oh, it's really crazy. I don't know. Like, but I mean, I get why there was sort of that idea that, like, people just wanted to sort of be like, yo, whatever, okay, let's just get over this. Because, I mean, if you look at other places where there have been civil wars, they never get over it. Like, I mean, it's like, you know, you think of like Yugoslavia, people have been fighting the same kind of battles since like the 13th century and stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah. Totally. I mean, no doubt. I mean, man. Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about this stuff. So, yeah. Man, there's actually something that happened in Oregon earlier, like maybe a year ago. Totally crazy. We'll get to that. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of crazy. I mean, you know, shit. Who am I telling? Okay, let's see. All right. Right. Count the same thing. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. And then people are like, oh, blah, 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 I don't believe blah, blah, blah. Systemic racism, and etc. It's like, well, then why does this piss you off so much? Why is, you know, a small infringement, you know, creating this sort of response? It can't be what it's really about, because it's not what it's really about. It's about white supremacy. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, God. I mean, shit, even like today with the Koch brothers. I know they say Coke, but it's cock. It really is. You know, you can't buy grammar. You can't buy pronunciation. I don't care how much money you have. But like, I don't know. It all goes back to that. Like, they're still like, it could be a whole side on that, but I'll finish through this. We're almost done. All right. So, all right. Okay, on August 30th, 2020, Fox shared photos from his surveillance trip to the encrypted chat group, which included Frank's, oh, totally. Awesome. Yeah, I'm down. Always. Yeah, he's on here, like, way more than I am. Like, it's awesome. Like, more power to him. Cool. Totally. Or if he's on now, say hi for me. Because, yeah. I don't know how everyone comes on here so much. I'm gonna try to step it up, though. Because, like, damn, I gotta get on my shit. Like, but yeah, it's all good. All right. Okay. Okay, so on August 30th, 2020, Fox shared photos from his surveillance trip to the encrypted chat group, which included Franks, Harris, Garbin, and CHS2. Garbin offered to paint his personal boat black in order to support the surveillance of the vacation home from the lake where the vacation house is situated. In a text message conversation the same day, Garbin asked CHS2 how the surveillance trip had gone. CHS2 shared a screenshot of a map of the area, which happened to show a bridge in the vicinity. Using symbols and emoticons, Garbin replied, if the bridge goes down, it also stops the blue? I don't know, there's a wave. Stops the wave, which doesn't make sense. I'm thinking it's probably blue. Suggesting demolition of the bridge would hinder a police response. CHS2 provided the FBI with an image of a hand-drawn map of the lake near the vacation home with the mileage of the nearest police departments and the estimated response time. CHS2 provided FBI with a picture of Fox drawing that map. Nighttime surveillance on September 12th to 13th, 2020. Over the weekend of September 12th to 13th, 2020, Fox, Croft, Garbin, Franks, Harris, Caserta, CHS2, a UCE, and another individual attended a field training exercise, so the 5th or 6th at this point, at Garbin's property in Luther, Michigan. So all these different locations throughout Michigan and Wisconsin, different terrain, mapping out her home, conducting surveillance on multiple occasions, estimating police response time, looking for ways to commit, commit damage to infrastructure in ways that would hinder response time from emergency responders. Talking about painting their boat, that guy's boat, black in order to evade detection. Talking about finding IT guys and electricians in order to, further map out blueprints of her home. These guys were the people who stormed the Capitol in Lansing, Michigan. There are many pictures online in many articles showing these exact individuals storming the state capitol in Michigan during that, you know, freedom rally. So, yeah. Okay. All right. So they did this field training exercise at Garbin's property in Luther, Michigan. The location is approximately an hour and a half from the vacation home. So they're getting closer and closer. CHS-2 and the UCE audio recorded the meeting, or I'm thinking like undercover, I don't know, but that's probably what it means, I think. I can't remember. Audio recorded the meetings and exercise. Croft brought what he referred to as his chemistry set, which included components for an IED. According to CHS-2, Croft constructed an IED by removing the cap from a commercial firework, adding additional black powder, and wrapping the device in pennies and electrical tape as shrapnel. During the exercise, the group set the device in a clearing surrounded by human silhouette targets, and Croft detonated it to test its anti-personnel effectiveness. At the exercise, Fox took aside Croft, Garbin, Franks, Caserta, CHS-2, and 2 UCEs and 4 other people. Fox briefed them on the plan to kidnap Governor Whitmer, and he told them about his first surveillance of the property. Fox selected Croft, Garbin, Franks, the CHS, the UCEs, and the 4 other people to conduct a nighttime surveillance of the vacation home in preparation for the kidnapping. Harris, Caserta, and another individual remained at the camp in Luther. Harris became aware of the surveillance the next day, and he expressed regret that he had not participated in the surveillance operation. On September 12, 2020, while driving from Garbin's property to Cadillac to bring others to the property, Fox told CHS-2 and another individual that the vacation home is the governor's actual house. Quote, "And it's a perfect fucking setup. Out of everywhere that she resides, this is the only one that's probably actually feasible with a success rate." That conversation was recorded by CHS-2. During the late night of September 12th and early morning of September 13th, the group drove from Luther to the vicinity of the vacation home in 3 separate vehicles. CHS-2 and the UCEs audio recorded the operation. Before leaving Luther, Croft asked Fox if the surveillance participants were armed. Fox confirmed that they were, and Croft suggested they take the opportunity to conduct an act of violence that night. Croft was eventually dissuaded of this notion and decided to wait for a better time. Croft, Fox, CHS-2, a UCE, and an individual from Wisconsin traveled in the first vehicle. While in the vehicle, Croft and Fox discussed detonating explosive devices to divert police from the area of the vacation home. They stopped at the M31 highway bridge on the way, where Fox and a UCE inspected the underside of the bridge for places to seat an explosive charge. Fox took a picture of the bridge's support structure, which he later shared with CHS-2 in their encrypted chat. From there, they drove to a public boat launch across the lake from the vacation home to watch for the other cars in their group. Garbin, Franks, and another individual from Wisconsin traveled in the second vehicle to the vicinity of the vacation home. A digital dash cam was mounted in the vehicle and was activated to record the surveillance for later reference, which footage was later shared with CHS-2, who provided it to the FBI. External-facing video footage from the camera shows what the conspirators observed of the governor's neighborhood, while the internal-facing footage captured Garbin, Franks, and the other member inside the vehicle on the way to the vacation home. A review of the dash cam footage revealed GPS data indicating that the vehicle was located in close proximity to the vacation home next to the lake. When the second vehicle arrived, the team contacted Fox, who was located in the first vehicle, to determine if they could see each other's light across the lake. Garvin asked the first vehicle, "Can you see my light?" Croft asked the second vehicle, "You got our guys?" CHS-2 replied, "We got you." Two of the individuals and a UCE drove to the lake in the third vehicle. They were tasked by Fox to drive around and make sure no one was following or surveying the group. During the surveillance operation, Fox stated, she fucking goddamn loves the power she has right now. And that she has no checks and balances at all. She has uncontrolled power right now. Croft stated, "All good things must come to an end." Fox also remarked, "I can see several states taking their fucking tyrants. Everybody takes their tyrants." The group also discussed how many people should be involved in the kidnapping operation. During the ride back to Garvin's property, Frank stated, "We're doing all the reconnaissance work, so it should go smooth." After arriving back at Garvin's property, CHS-2 asked, "Everybody down with what's going on?" And someone stated, "If you're not down with the thought of kidnapping, don't sit here." Garvin replied, "Oh no, we're not kidnapping, that's not what we're doing," which sparked general laughter. Amidst the laughter, another voice said, "No children," and a voice added, "We're adult napping." Frank stated, "Kidnapping, arson, death, I don't care." The group then started discussing destroying the vacation home. The conspirators began finalizing plans to kidnap Governor Whitmer. On the morning of September 13th, 2020, so the next day, the group reconvened at Garvin's property in Luther, Michigan. Fox gathered Croft, Garvin, Franks, Harris, Caserta, CHS-2, the UCEs, and 2 other individuals. CHS-2 recorded the discussion. Fox confirmed with the members that they were the group that was going to kidnap Governor Whitmer. An FBI UCE told Fox that it will cost approximately $4,000 to procure the explosives that Fox and Croft wanted to use to blow up the bridge leading to the vacation home. Fox later shared that information with the group. The group agreed to conduct a final training exercise in late October. On September 14th, 2020, Fox posted in the group's encrypted chat that he did not want the exercise to be the last week in October because it would leave insufficient time to execute the kidnapping before the national election on November 3rd, 2020. The group agreed to use the time until the final training exercise to raise money for explosives and other supplies. On September 17th, 2020, on an encrypted group chat that included Fox, Garvin, Franks, Harris, Caserta, CHS-2, and others, Fox asked the group what it thought of the militia group invitation to participate in the armed protest at the state capitol. Garvin replied, "I would highly advise minimizing any communication with him. Also, there needs to be zero, and I mean zero, public interaction if we want to continue with our plans." Caserta replied, "When the time comes, there will be no need to try and strike fear through presence. The fear will be manifested through bullets." Fox responded, "Copy that, boys, loud and clear." On September 30th, 2020, Fox called CHS-2 on the phone, and CHS-2 recorded the conversation. During the call, Fox discussed purchasing a taser for use in the kidnapping operation. Fox also told CHS-2 that Croft, Garvin, Harris, Franks, Caserta, and others were aware of the $4,000 cost. On October 2nd, 2020, Fox confirmed he purchased an 800,000-volt taser in an encrypted chat message with CHS-2. Wow. Okay, FBI's review of recent encrypted group chats indicates that in preparation for their plan to kidnap Governor Whitmer, Fox, Garvin, Harris, and Franks planned to meet with a UCE on October 7th, 2020 to make a payment on explosives and exchange tactical gear. Caserta said he could not attend because he will be at work. Croft has returned to Delaware and is not available for this exchange. On several occasions, Fox has expressed his intention and desire to kidnap Governor Whitmer before November 3rd, 2020, the date of the national election. And that's the end. So, yeah. Wild stuff. And let's see, since I've been on here for almost an hour now, I'll probably just shut this down. I was gonna read a bit more about the Proud Boys in Portland and their connection here and the role they've played, but I know that might be a bit of its own standalone, you know, sort of its own subject. Maybe that'll be a better way to organize the stuff that we discuss on here. So, okay, well, let me know what you guys think. It's a crazy story. It's a lot of just insane details that hasn't really been completely fleshed out on the news, so I thought I would take the opportunity to use this platform, because that's sort of way more conducive to that than, you know, any major media outlet. So, okay. See you guys later. Enjoy.